What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Klaudless and Indy. I'm Klaudless, and fortunately for you, it's another beer review. Now, if you've seen my last video, which I'll put a picture of it right here, and we'll put an info card somewhere up here, I covered Graffiti Road, the New England IPA by Black Dog Brewing. And today is a snow day because I'm recording this as of January the 26th, and it's snowing. And I was looking out my backyard, and I'm like, wow. Well, no, that's not how it started. So I was going into the fridge, into my beer fridge, and I was trying to think of which beer should I review next. And so I was just looking at the cans, and then I had noticed this beer can by Black Dog Brewing. It's one of the many cans that I had picked up from Total Wine. And I was like, wow, man, it's literally just so white and snowy outside right now. And what would be really cool? It would be really cool to take a picture or a video of this this beer out in the snow. And that is exactly what I did. That was the intro video, basically. So yeah, Black Dog Brewing down in Mooresville, Indiana. I'll post a picture of it on Google's Maps, its location. I really like their first one, so I'm really excited to try this one. This is a 1-pint can with an ABV of 7%, and it is a coffee stout, and it's called That's So Metal. Thus, the intro music. And their slogan, life is rough, drink beer. So if you've watched my previous videos, I've decided to try a new format where I pour the beer right out of the can into my tasting glass, and then I pour it into my dispenser. Using my dispenser, I pour it into this glass here. So let's get into it. Now, here's the thing. So I used to not drink stouts or porters that much, but when I met my fiance, who just happens to love stouts and porters, I started drinking them a lot more, and I ended up acquiring the taste, and now I love them. Ooh, look at that. That is just black. Well, like coffee black. Look at that. Maybe we should pour more of that. If you can see there, I probably should have done it in front of the camera. But not a lot of head. But the head is very brown, as you can see. Like a coffee brown. It almost looks like coffee a bit. Kind of. Not a lot of head formation, though. And yeah. Yeah, not very transparent either. Sure if I can get that in the camera. Not very transparent. So, and now the aroma also isn't very strong. Aroma also isn't very strong. No. Very interesting. So right off the bat, chocolate notes. And I want to say almost like a, not like, like a cow chocolate, but it's how do I say? I want to say it's like a little sweet, and there's also another note too. So if you're an avid coffee drinker, that there's coffee has different tasting notes as well, and with a lot of coffee beers or stouts. I don't really know how to describe it. So like you're tasting coffee. It's like either you're tasting the coffee grounds, or you're tasting like how do you say, like maybe what it would taste like if there was like creamer and sugar in it, maybe. But this one here, there are coffees that I how do you say? At least to me, they're bad. Like not necessarily bad, but think McDonald's coffee. To me, I find McDonald's coffee to be very acidic. And that's exactly what I'm getting from this beer. It's a very acidic taste that I get from coffee, which should come as no surprise because on the can if I can get that on the camera, it does say contains lactose. Most likely lactose bacillus. I think that's what the the bacteria is called during the brewing. So yeah, that should come as no surprise. They usually use, I guess, lactose in like sour beers, to achieve the sour. But yeah, that's actually very interesting. It's actually very interesting. Also, to check the temperature of this, because now we've introduced the thermometer / voltage tester in the videos. So let's see what this beer is currently at. So at least the glass is currently at 60 degrees, and the can is at 57.9. Yes, it has been out of the fridge for maybe 30 minutes or so. Which I actually find kind of weird, that it's just cooling down, or rather warming up so fast after I pulled them out of the fridge. But it's probably because my fridge isn't very cold. I usually try not to keep it too cold. So now we're gonna move on to putting the beer in the dispenser. Wow, look at that. That just looks so creamy and just absolutely delicious. Look at that. Okay. And just look at that head formation. Which, I guess that's kind of a new thing that I'm discovering, is that when I pour beers into the sample glass, sometimes, maybe it's because of the speed or the time and the angle, that the head doesn't really form. But with this, I guess, with given it enough time, the head forms, and it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely delicious. Look at that. Man, I absolutely love this glass. I really need to get a glass that just says Klaudless in Indy on it. Instead of always using my St. Joseph Brewery glass. But we're going to go ahead and taste this. And I almost forgot, something I do every video is we're going to go over to the Black Dog Brewing website, and we're going to talk about, the beer, what they have to say about the beer. So, Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. I mean, I will have to say, though, I personally have had, at least when I think of coffee stouts, I personally have had, better. Now, I'm not saying this is bad at all. I mean, it's very good, like I said. I mean, I like sour beers, and so I don't mind the taste of lactose in my beer. But it's not necessarily what I was expecting from a coffee stout, mainly because the acidity from coffee, like, I prefer my coffee with low acidity. I'm not going to McDonald's getting coffee all the time, It's either Dunkin' or Starbucks. And with Starbucks, of course, it's more on the bitter side, but with McDonald's, and I'm talking about their hot coffee. I'm not talking about their iced coffee, but their hot coffee specifically. If you get their hot coffee and you don't get any creamer in it on their coffee, unless it's changed recently, but in the past, their coffee has been very acidic. Drinkable, just it had a high acidity, and this is exactly what this stout reminds me of. But I'm not even mad, though. Why? Because when we talk about the beer, this beer specifically, that's so metal. And I would have to say that this beer is metal in more than one way, right? I mean, it obviously comes in a metal can. Just look at this, just with the whole black and white. I mean, just black metal, it just reminds me of, just black metal, just doom. Kind of what I what I like to listen to, and what I also write. Link in the description for my music if you're interested in the intro music as well. But also, I guess, the acidity too. And you know what? Acid is also pretty metal, if you ask me. Okay, so now with that out of the way, now that we've tasted the beer, both from the straight pour and from the dispenser, which, strangely enough, there actually wasn't that much of a difference in taste. Which, in some beers, like for instance Bud Light, the difference I've noticed from pouring it straight from the can to using the dispenser is that, well, just in general, the dispenser tends to make the beers a lot smoother. But I feel like this beer was already smooth. Not a lot of carbonation. It's not very crisp. It's very smooth. And it goes down very easily. I would say it's pretty light. One can argue maybe light to medium. But I would say this is pretty light. Oh yeah. You know what? Actually, I take that back. Because I noticed that with the straight pour, there's a note that I'm getting that I don't get from the dispenser, and it's almost like I want to say almost a sweet note. Yeah, there's a little bit of sweetness that I'm actually getting from it. So with this one, I'm gonna have to say that the straight pour is definitely a go for the win. I don't know what that necessarily means for how it would be on draft. I'll definitely have to make another video about that, how it would taste on draft. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's head over to the website. So now we're here at Black Dog Brewing Company's website. Let's go down to beers. And since we already know that we have a stout on our hands, we're going to go down to the darker side. And that's So Metal. So here, it says that it's at 7% ABV, just like it says on the can. It's 35 IBUs. And of course, it's a coffee stout. So raise your hands, brothers and sisters in metal. Wait, no, hold on. Raise your hands, brothers and sisters in metal. You are about to partake of a divine gift from the metal gods. One sip of this coffee milk stout will have you banging your head and rocking all night long. Smooth roastiness combined with deep coffee flavors from Tinker Coffee's Zing Roast is what sets this beer apart. We toast you, metalhead. Now go forth and rock. Yeah. So that's it. If you like this video, like, subscribe, maybe click one of my links down below to check out my music, my Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, my Facebook. And this is Klaudless covering That's So Metal Coffee Stout by Black Dog Brewing Company down in Mooresville, Indiana. And Prost, Salut, Slanche, cheers, and peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.